James Rolfe, the man, the myth, the legend, or as he might be best known for his role as the angry video game nerd, of which I'll be referring to as AVGN because God, I am not saying angry video game nerd every time I'm referring to him.
No quarterback, dimeback, nickelback, simple, ordinary, unembellished, unmistakable, crystal clear, as frank as Frankenstein, as blunt as an atom bomb. One compound word, it's motherfucking goddamn sons of bitchin' fucking football.
So what is there to say about James Rolfe that hasn't already been said countless times on the internet? Rolfe was a pioneer in the online creative space. Before YouTube, Rolfe had created an online web series in 2004 titled, The Angry Video Game Nerd. This still ongoing series is based around James portraying what seems to be a highly exaggerated version of himself, often reviewing retro Nintendo or Atari games. These videos were formatted game reviews that would vary per video. For example, The Karate Kid, Halloween, Friday the 13th, mainly licensed slock released back then to make a quick buck. These types of videos were not only unheard of at the time, but Rolfe also incorporated a narrative to his videos and a distinct style, this often being over-the-top gore, violence, and swearing, all of which that YouTube now looks down on. For example, my personal favorite video of his, Halloween, involves the nerd reviewing games of the same name, while also taking down Michael Myers with an Atari controller and making him play his own shitty game, amongst other things.
Trick or treat!
Oh, you want some trick or treat? Okay, here's some trick or treat for you. There you go, you little fuckers. There's some chocolate for you.
A fucking masterpiece in cinema. While all these shorts are in crude humor and violent, Rolfe's use of practical effects, inventive camera angles, and creative storytelling shows parallels between that of the do-it-yourself attitude of directors such as Kevin Smith, Sam Raimi, or Ed Wood. I admire that this practical use of effects have been used throughout his entire career, whether that be in his feature film, The Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie, or other web series such as Board James, which is unironically just incredible.
Lay off my blue suede shoes, man. Huh.
This is like some kind of crazy acid trip.
I'm on drugs. Huh. I'm all fucked up. Hunka bucket, fuck it.
As someone who's trying to get into the film and acting space as a career, to say James Rolfe is an inspiration would be a complete understatement. He was able to mix genuinely fantastic filmmaking with well-told reviews, and again at the time something that was completely unheard of, allowing his show AVGN to reach a massive audience. So, in 2013, the world was greeted with The Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures, published by Screw Attack and Greenwave Media, and obviously endorsed by Cinemassacre. This was a retro-style game very akin to the types of games that the nerd would play. Weird, obscure, and hard as fuck. Then in 2020, they released The Angry Video Game Nerd 1 and 2 Deluxe. This would be a complete overhaul of those original games with a fresh new look, updated graphics, and an entirely new game added to this already staggering collection. This collection was ported to Steam, PS4, Xbox One, and of course, the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
What's really neat is that they teamed up with Limited Run Games to make a physical version of the game for PlayStation and Switch. It's even got a reversible cover and everything. Wow, look at that. It's very reminiscent of an NES cover. Well, let's see what the game has to offer. Well, the game itself carries this SNES-inspired pixel art look, an 8-bit platformer with a little bit more nuance to it, similar to what the nerd himself would play. But to call this game a retro game would be mistaken. It's very much a retro-inspired game rather than a replica of what came before. It's reminiscent of that of Shovel Knight or Shredder's Revenge, a callback but still able to have its own voice. Being a collection, this game allows you to select the first and second game from the start menu, but the added game to be unlocked. The story isn't anything to write home about. The nerd gets sucked into the game in a totally normal way, and now has to survive the shitty game that he now finds himself trapped in. The game is split into 8 different worlds, akin to that of a Mario Bros game, which I can only assume was intentional. Each world or level is filled to the brim with references and callbacks to the web series, whether that be enemy types like legally distinct E.T. and Jason Voorhees. The game is pretentiously hard, but it's all done again to replicate that feeling of playing a game that the nerd himself would review. But it's not achieved cheaply. The levels themselves are well designed, and every fall and death feels like your own doing, and not that of the game's fault. Your life in the game is dictated by having battles of rolling rock, fitting. These can be found throughout the game itself, and can also be equipped to give you an advantage in game. These are often references to the show again. For example, the glitch goblin can be used to freeze everything in place.
You know, when this happens, that means that there's something inside your game. Something that wants to reduce the graphics into a pixelated mishmash of garbage. You're dealing with a game graphic glitch gremlin.
Good day to you, nerd. How are you? Good day, sir.
All in all, the angry video game nerd escapes the trap of being nothing more than just a fun novelty. There's a genuine game here that's not shadowed by references or callbacks, like the web series of the same name. The AVGN game is crude, violent, and filled to the brim with fun fourth wall breaks and clever writing. Not only would I recommend this game to someone who enjoys the show, but to anyone who's looking for an incredibly challenging platformer, full of heart and humour. If we are to review a video game, what makes a good game? Well, simply put, you need good gameplay, right? You need a little bit of sauce, a little bit of sauce. Sprinkle that in. You need memorable characters, a fantastic story. Okay. You cook that all together, and what have you got? A fucking masterpiece of what you got right there. And that's how you cook up a I made this game years ago, and I abandoned it because it was awful. It was shit. It was a shitload of fuck. What's it doing here? As a Switch game. Oh God. No.